All right, so welcome to this video, and we are going to be looking at questions from the chemistry assignment, which is on enzymes and enzyme kinematics. We are going to talk about the Lineweaver-Burk plots, okay, and we're also going to talk about the type of enzyme inhibition for some particular drugs, okay, like aspirin, warfarin, and allopurinol, and also the enzyme which they inhibit. Okay, so this is the assignment there. You can see uh, from question 1 there all the way up to question what? 6. All right, so if you'd like to access full video solutions for this assignment as well as written solutions, please feel free to register with us. You can just go to discretelearning.com. You're going to find the full solutions. Okay, so we also have solutions to the tutorial sheets. So you can see these tutorial sheets here that are attached to this tutorial sheet manual on proteins, on amino acids and peptides. All these tutorial sheets here will actually be solved, and some of them have been solved like question in tutorial sheet 1 here, which is on amino acids and peptides, tutorial sheet 2, which is on proteins. These have been solved together with the assignment, and they're there. You can access them anytime, anywhere. Okay, even tutorial sheet 3 has actually been solved. All right, so let's in this video focus on this one here. So we are focusing on this question here. Okay, on the Lineweaver-Burk plot. So let me just get it and put it on the board. So this is the question that we are focusing on. Okay, so the question simply says, sketch a Lineweaver-Burk plot for an enzyme catalyzed reaction in the presence and the absence of a competitive inhibitor. Show how the inhibitor affects the Km and the Vmax. Okay, so we're going to discuss this question here in full. Okay, so here they're saying sketch, okay, they're saying sketch a line Weaver-Burk plot for an enzyme catalyzed reaction in the presence and absence of one, a competitive inhibitor, a non-competitive inhibitor, and then we have an a competitive inhibitor there. Okay, and then this question here on 6 has a follow-up question here. So we're going to answer them together. So they're saying, in the above question, comment on the changes to the Vmax and to the what? To the Km. So remember, when we drew our Lineweaver-Burk plot like that, okay, we had this straight line that came like that. So we said the y-intercept here, okay, represents 1 over Vmax. And then the x-intercept here, we said it represents minus 1 over what? Km. Okay, so based on the type of enzyme inhibitor that you have, okay, you are going to have different types of what? Of plots. So let's come up with the first one for what? Competitive inhibitor. So if you have a competitive inhibitor, your Lineweaver-Burk plot is going to be something like this. So you're going to have your y-axis, okay? You're going to have your x-axis, okay? And then from there, we are going to have a normal Lineweaver-Burk plot when you don't have any inhibitor there. Okay, so I'm going to draw that in red. So I'm going to draw this here. So when I don't have any inhibitor, I'm going to have this normal Lineweaver plot. So I'm going to say here, no inhibitor like that. Okay, so it means here, okay, let me show them in here. Here, I have my 1 over Vmax. Here, I have my what? Minus 1 over what? Km. So what happens when I add a competitive inhibitor to this reaction here? What happens? So note that here we have 1 over V, then here we have 1 over substrate concentration like that. Okay, so this goes that, this goes like that. So this is the normal line there without any inhibitor. So no inhibitor there. We have this normal line there, right? So immediately you add let me plot that in green. Immediately you add a competitive inhibitor. the shape of this graph is going to change into something like this. Okay, so this means that here we have a competitive, okay, here we have a competitive inhibitor, CI, competitive inhibitor. So what do we notice here is that the y-intercept here does not change, okay? So if your y-intercept here does not change, it means that the value of, remember we said the y-intercept represents what? 1 over Vmax. So if this hasn't changed here, it means the Vmax has what? Remained constant. So we're going to say Vmax remains constant, okay? But what has happened to the Km? So remember we said Km is the x-intercept there. So the Km was there, and then it has it has gone to the right like that. Now it's there. Okay, so this is now our -1 over Km. So if my value has gone to the right like that, okay, what has happened to the Km? Remember here, this is the reciprocal. So the opposite will be happening. If your graph moves to the right like that, okay, we're expecting, okay, so if your graph moves to the right, it means this value here will increase for the Km, okay? And then if it moves to the left like that, it means this value here will decrease. So we are going to say the Km there increases. Okay, so the Vmax remains constant because this point does not change, but for the Km, this graph has moved to the right like that. So it means the Km increases. Okay, so this here is when you have a competitive inhibitor. So if you have a competitive inhibitor, then you expect something like that to happen. Okay, what about when we have a non-competitive inhibitor? So your plot is going to look something like that. So you have your y as usual, you have your x like that. Okay, so we are saying this here is 1 over substrate concentration. And then there we have 1 over what? V. So first of all, we are going to draw a normal line, okay, when we have no inhibitor. So when we have no inhibitor, we're just going to have a normal curve like that, okay? So this will be no inhibitor, okay? Then once we introduce a non-competitive inhibitor, okay, once we introduce a non-competitive inhibitor, this is what is going to happen, okay? We are going to have a curve that will come, let me get a straight line, a curve that is going to come from there and then pass through that like that. So when we have this graph or this straight line in green here, it means you have a non-competitive what? Inhibitor. So let us notice what has happened, okay? So you had your 1 over Vmax there. It has moved up. It's now there, okay? And then there where you have your x-intercept, which represents 1 over Km like that, it has remained the same. So from there, we're going to conclude that the Km is constant. Okay, but what has happened to the Vmax? Okay, what has happened to the Vmax? So since here, okay, this point here represents 1 over Vmax, remember? Okay, and this is a positive value as opposed to this negative value there. So if this value has gone up like that, okay, if this value has gone up, then what does it mean to the Vmax there? Okay, so let's say, for example, this was 2. Okay, let's find the Vmax there. If I have Vmax there, and then this point here was 2, okay, so it means when I find the Vmax here, Vmax will just be equals to 1 over 2, okay? And then if it goes up like that to that point, let's say it has gone up to 4, okay, so it will be 1 over Vmax there is equals to what? To 4. So what will happen here is that the Vmax value will just be 1 over 4. So what has happened from this Vmax to this Vmax? We see that the Vmax has what? Decreased. Okay, because it is a what? A positive value here as opposed to what happened to this -1 over Km. So we are going to say here Vmax decreases. Okay, so that's what we are going to conclude there. So the Km remains constant in the presence of a non-competitive what? Inhibitor, but the Vmax decreases. All right, so now let's talk about the last scenario there that we can have. So the last scenario that we can have is when we have uncompetitive what? Inhibitor. So we are going to draw our y as usual, and then our x, okay? So it means here we have 1 over v, and then there you have your what? You have your 1 over substrate concentration like that. All right, so the first thing we are going to draw there is the normal line when we have no inhibitor. So no inhibitor, we're going to draw this line there. So we're going to say there we have no inhibitor, okay? And then once we introduce an uncompetitive inhibitor, notice what will happen. Okay, so a non-competitive inhibitor, it means there is no competition with this first one. So it will just be like that. Need to get a straight line. So it will just be like that. To be parallel to the one that has no inhibitor at all. Okay, so we're going to say this green line here is an, okay, is an competitive inhibitor like that. Okay, so you see these two lines, the red one and the green one are just what? Parallel. So what has happened? Remember, this was the Vmax, this was the Km. Okay, so this Vmax has moved up, just like it did here. It has moved up. So it means the Vmax there decreases. Okay, what about the Km? Okay, so the Km was here, and then it has moved this side here. So what has happened to the Km? Has it decreased or has it increased? Okay, so let's try to solve it here. Okay, let's try to solve it. So I'm going to say, for example, this here is -2, and then there it's what? -4. So remember we said at the x-intercept, it's just 1 over Km. So let's find the Km at this first point. So that first point is going to be equals to -2. So when we solve for the Km here, we're just going to say cross multiply to be -2 Km is equals to -1. So it means my Km there will just be what? 1 over 2, which is a positive value, right? Okay. And then now it has gone to -4. So it means I have -1 over Km, and then this is equals to -4. So cross multiply, I'm going to have -4 Km is equals to -1. Divide both sides by uh, uh, -4. I'm going to say my Km is just a positive 1 over what? 4. So between this Km and this Km, which one is it great? We see that it was 1 over 2, which is half. It has gone to a quarter, which is 1 over 4. So it means the Km also what? Decreases. All right, so it means we are done with question 6 and simultaneously with what? Question 7. Okay, we have plotted all the line-weaver bank plots for these situations that we have here, and we've also commented on what happens to the Vmax and the what? The Km. Right, so you can also check out the written solutions there. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. As I said, if you like to access the full solutions, you can simply go to discretelearning.com. You're going to find them, or I can show you here. So just go to Chrome and then type in discretelearning.com, and then you click search. Okay, so what have I done now? Okay, let me do it again, discretelearning.com, and then search. Then it will take you to this website. So if you do not have an account, just create an account, and then you'll be able to just put in your details like your name, your email, and then you create an account and then log in with the same details. So when you come here now, you find whatever you are looking for. So there's physics, math, biology, and chemistry for those who are doing pre-med. Okay, both semester 1 and 2. So if you want, for example, you've registered for chemistry, just open chemistry, and then you go to this guy here. So semester 2 Apex, okay, you open. Yeah, so there are topic lessons, summarize notes, tutorial sheets and assignments, past quiz, test and exam papers, and some lab reports samples here. So if you go to the tutorial sheets here, okay, for this current intake, This is 2026 January. So you just click here, and then you're going to find the assignment is there, the tutorial sheet 1, tutorial sheet 2, and all the tutorial sheet that we're going to upload, we're going to put them here. Okay, so if you are facing challenges with chemistry, okay, you are welcome to register on our platform just to ease or make you understand in a simpler manner. Okay, so if you want to register, just check, okay, the link in the description here is going to show you how you can create an account on the website and how you can pay to access these at any time from anywhere. We also have here on the website the past papers. Okay, it's just not the tutorial sheet, but also the past papers are the topic lessons where we're explaining exam focused concept. Okay, the ones that are going to help you pass the exam. So if you go to past quiz, test and exam papers, you're going to see that I have videos there. Okay, so these videos can help you to pass at your own time, at your comfort. So anytime that you want to start, the videos are there. So biochemistry, organic chemistry, which is the other part of this course, they're all there. So make sure you subscribe and you start accessing this. Okay, so if you want to contact me, my number is 0779 96 40 10, so that I help you with the process of registration if you fail. But you can just actually register by yourself. Just check the link in the description below here, and then you will be able to to register. All right, so thank you so much for watching. This has been Tutor Poul Solutions. Until next time, always there for you.